Now that the base is kind of looking very even and neat, what we can do is we can conceal the required areas. All I can see in her face, because she doesn't have much of a problem, we just need to put little concealer here on her under eyes. And blend it well. Look up, Pooja. So now you can see the face is looking very even and very clear. Now what we need to do is, now we need to add dimensions to the face. So for doing that, we need to take two colors, basically the darker shade for shading the areas and the lighter shade for highlighting the areas which are required to be highlighted. So what we do is, for choosing those shades, we need to buy the darker shade that has to be 2 tones darker than your skin, and the lighter shade which has to be 2 tones lighter than your skin. So once we start doing, we can always see the difference, how it goes. What I'll do first is I'll highlight her areas which will really brighten up her face. So first we're going to just brighten up the bridge of the nose. We're going to take the highlight color and we're going to work on her nose, and some more product we can fan it out so that this area actually is a highlight area. And now also under her eyes, we're going to make a triangle. Basically, when we look into the face, if this area is dull, it doesn't give that look of freshness look. So we need to highlight this area with the shade which is 2 tones lighter than the face shade of yours. So we are highlighting this area also. Basically, it's kind of a triangle. We will also go a little on the cupid bow, a very little on it. And little on the chin also. So basically these are the areas, if we put this lighter color, it will brighten up the face. And now we're going to work on the contouring area, basically, which are the shaded areas, which definitely adds dimension to the face. So we're going to take the darker color, and make sure when you're using your brushes, the brushes should not carry the color of the previous shade, because then it may do wrong on the face. So you need to wipe off the product on the brushes and then you can start. So now we're going to work on the darker zones. Basically we need to put some shade here on her cheekbones. What it does is, basically it gives definition, and the right zone to figure out on this particular thing is to just take the measure is on the top of the ear. If you work making a line from the top of the ear, it should move till your mouth. That's the parameter of figuring it out. Otherwise you can just squeeze your cheeks a bit. Pooja, just do this. Also creates a hollow area, and that hollow area basically is the zone to put your darker shade. So there are 2 ways about it, but I feel personally this is a better way to find the correct place of putting your darker shade on from the top of your ear towards your mouth. So all we need to do is, we need to put the darker area, the darker shade, and move it through here. We can go as dark as possible, because ultimately we're going to blend it. So same goes on the other side, keeping the landmark here and directions and working towards the mouth here. And also we'll put this shade on the nose area as well. It will be connected from the eyebrows. We will start with the eyebrow portion and we will run through the end of the nose. Basically we'll hide this area. So if we look at the nose, our focus will go on the bridge of the nose and will further brighten up, will look very sharp and defined. So we are adding the darker area here. This is again the contouring part. And if somebody has a bigger forehead, so for that also we need to hide that forehead. For that we need to put the product in the primitive areas, which are these ones, and this will help to cut the broadness of the forehead and it will give a further sculpted look. You need not be very precise in putting the color, but at the same time it will definitely add to the look. And now a lot of people have this sagging jawline, which is a very big problem. Nobody wants to have a jawline which is not defined. So if we put the shade here, it will really give a very chiseled look to your jawline, and we need to just cover this like this with the same shade, which is the darker shade of your shading and highlighting thing, and we need to cover the jawline as well. Of course, blending is the major key, but this is the look where we are actually working on the 3D makeup. It's basically covering the entire face in a three-dimensional way. We are having the highlighted parts, we are having the shaded parts, and we're going to blend it well so that the face looks very well sculpted. Every zone is, enlightened, brightened in a different way, but there's lots to be done now. We need to set these zones with the powder, because so that we need to lock them so that the colors don't move here and there, and we have a very nice flawless looking face. So we will take a loose powder and generously apply it all over the face. It's a translucent powder which will work as setting the base. It will be basically locking the base, which all the effort we have done, it will be like intact. After doing this shading and highlighting, working on the different zones of our face, we're going to just lock the base so that the base doesn't move here and there, it just gets locked and the makeup stays for longer. Basically, it's a lock to the face which we need to do, and we have generously applied the translucent powder all over our face so that the base is fixed and it's not going anywhere. The makeup also is lasting for a longer time.